Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Cassandra Cheng, employability trainer from E2I. Well, thank you to Northeast CDC for organizing this event. And today I'm not alone. I have with me my colleague Siu Shen, principal career coach from E2I as well. Well, Siu Shen, please introduce yourself to the lovely audience that we have here.
Okay. Thank you, Cassandra. Thank you, Northeast CDC, and the wonderful audience today. Glad to be here. Just to intro myself, I've been with E2I for 7 years as a career coach, as well as a coach mentor. I'm really looking forward to the sharing and learning we're going to have today.
Thanks, Yusha. We look forward to hearing from you as well. Well, today is our very first session, as Sidik mentioned, where we are kickstarting the Career Get Prepared series, or Career GPS in short, with a very relevant topic in today's climate. And the topic is how to ensure my skills, our skills, are relevant in the new norm. Well, first of all, Siushan, before we start, I'd like to invite the audience, right, to just focus on the phrase, the new norm, so that we can have a better idea of the context that we are in. When we say the new norm, we've been hearing a lot of this, especially when the pandemic hit us. When it comes to employment and employability, what exactly is the new norm? If for the audience, if you managed to join us much earlier, you would have heard Sidik's invitation to you to go to menti.com and to enter the code to help us answer a question regarding the new norm. So if you just join us, may I invite you now to just scan the QR code if you have a phone with you, right? Menti.com, and then the code is 3482957. And let us hear from you. What do you think the new norm means to you? And Siushan, maybe while we give the audience some time, right, let's discuss the options that we have given to the audience, right? So it's not exactly a trick question here.
Yeah, correct.
So the first option we have is disruption, all right, to existing job roles. And second, gig economy will be an increasing trend. Third one, we need to constantly upgrade, right, so that we can stay relevant. And then the last one, I have no idea, which is very valid. Some of us may not fully understand or realize what exactly the new norm means to us now. But you should maybe just focus on the second option, gig economy. Would you like to kind of elaborate a little bit?
I think when we talk about gig economy, we are looking about work in this case. And we are also seeing increasing number of independent contractors, online platform work, and freelancers like Grab delivery. All these are what we call the gig economy. It's actually quite prevalent right now, as you can see all around us. So I think we can resonate with that quite well, actually.
Thanks for sharing. Well, perhaps let's have a look at the results, shall we?
Yeah. Keen to see what's the results.
Let's have a look at, okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, again, no trick question, no right or wrong here, right?
Yeah.
So let's see. We have a couple, one person picked the gig economy. All right, and then we have two, no idea. That's fine. What's your take on this results, Siushan?
I'm actually quite glad to see this results, to be honest, to see so many indicating the third option, right, which is we need to constantly upgrade ourselves to stay relevant. Yes, that's definitely true. Because upgrading ourselves right now is no longer an option, but it's a must. Because that's why we've heard so much about lifelong learning, right? And it's probably the best way that actually we can build career security nowadays, which is through constant learning. Yeah, but I also see other results like disruption to existing job roles. That is also very valid and true as well, because we can see disruption around. Just look at the way we are looking versus pre-COVID. That's disruption for you. And also see a few saying, I have no idea. So to those folks, I think it's perfectly fine, right, to have no idea. That's why you are here, curious to find out more. You have joined this webinar to find out more. So kudos to you as well. And actually, looking at all these results, the term VUCA comes to my mind. Have you heard of the term VUCA, Cass?
Of course. Well, at E2I, this is ingrained in us. When we talk about VUCA, I can think of words, it stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and also ambiguity. There we have it on the screen as well.
Oh, yes. Full marks for you, Cass.
Thank you.
So why did I think of VUCA? Because careers in the 21st century often involve change, complexity, and uncertainty. And none of us can say with certainty what are the good jobs in the future. So we are constantly seeing new jobs being invented with new products and new services. Just take, for instance, cryptocurrency. What are some of the jobs that this new technology has brought about? Perhaps we can ask our audience to exercise their fingers a little more and share in the chat what they think are some of the jobs that cryptocurrency has created. Shall we do that, Cass?
Yep, sure. So audience, please use the chat. As Sushan asked earlier, what do you think are some of the jobs that cryptocurrency brings along? So you can type in the chat and then the panelists can see it. All right, let's have the first one. Let's see what we've got there. Right, so our team has nicely put in the question there for us as well. What are the jobs that cryptocurrency brings about? Okay.
I think this might be new to a lot of people out there, but I think we do have a lot of cryptocurrency, but more in the terms of investment. Yeah,
investment. So as a career coach, your perspective on cryptocurrency, the jobs?
Yeah, so I've been subscribing to job alerts, looking around job portals. Some of the direct jobs, I would say, are things like blockchain developers, mining technician, data scientists, some indirect jobs such as trading and sales associate, technical product executive, or most recently I saw in the internship kind of portal, some of them have actually crypto business development, crypto research assistant, which is also new to me. First time seeing this as well. So I'm not surprised that there's a lot of new jobs out there. And as the saying goes, change is the only constant, which applies to the norm that we are seeing nowadays. So on one hand, we are seeing some jobs being made obsolete. On the other hand, we are also seeing new jobs, and in this case, crypto, being created.
Thanks very much for sharing, Sushan. Well, just in case you're wondering for the audience regarding the chat, yeah, just feel free to type it in because we can see it, so no worries about it. All right, so you just type anything, questions that you have, the panelist is able to view it. All right, so just keep the questions coming if you have. All right, so my colleagues will be able to assist us on that. All right, okay. Yes, so back to this topic on VUCA, right? Regarding job skills, I totally agree with you, Sushan. I think we didn't hear about cryptocurrency until only recently, right? And it's true that the world is changing so fast, faster than before. And as job seekers, or even if we have a job right now, we really have to make an effort to keep up with understanding how the changes around us impact our work, rather than being, surprised that it has already changed. Right, so we need to be fully aware. Question now is, as a career coach, right, with E2I, have you come across anybody who has just recently realized that his or her job skills are no longer relevant in this VUCA world? Could you share with us more?
Yes, okay. Definitely there are such clients, and I remember one client. Her name was Madam Lee. She left her full-time job as a customer service executive with a bank more than 10 years ago to become a homemaker. So she's now looking to rejoin the workforce, but she was fearful and anxious about how to move forward in this VUCA world.
Oh, well, I note here, Madam Lee is in her 50s. So certainly, not very easy for her to think about the options, right? So how did you, as a coach, help her find her bearings?
Okay, so firstly, we started off by talking about her experiences, what she enjoys doing, about her values and strength, to understand who she is and her career identity. So we go through a process of reflection and self-discovery. And some of the things we learned from the process were that she enjoys being of service to people and gains satisfaction when her work has made an impact. And you know what, Cass? According to Madam Lee, at the end of this first session, when asked about what was her biggest takeaway, Madam Lee actually said that she didn't realize that she had this strength previously. So that really brightens up my day when she said that.
Yeah, I'm sure you must have been very, very happy, right, when you heard that. Well, I am now again very curious, Sushan. You mentioned that Mrs. Lee said that she realized she had these strengths. How long did it take for her to come to this realization?
All right. So, well, usually it depends on the client, but in this case, with Madam Lee, we managed to do that in the first session, to talk about her strength, to understand and discover that. Yeah.
Fabulous. So just one session alone. I know you mentioned that typically it might take a longer time, but with this Madam Lee, you managed to help her find her strengths just in one session. Well, that's fabulous. Yeah, share with us more, Fusion.
All right. So anyway, that was just the start, uncovering her strength, her profile in this case. The next thing we actually look at was what was going on in the present. So one of the key questions that Madam Lee asked early on was, should I continue applying for customer service jobs in the banking sector? Something that she did 10 years ago. That was an important question because it led us to talk about the job and market situation. So we look at the bank's career sites, we look at the job portals, we talk about the trends of such jobs being outsourced overseas, the increasing trends of and use of chatbots. So then she realized that things have changed and she had to open up and expand the options. She became more aware, at the same time more curious of the present labor market. In other words, she became an alert job seeker.
So I'm going to plot the journey now that you're sharing. So you first mentioned, right, she discovered her strengths, right? And then now you mentioned that she became aware of, she had this realization of what is happening around her, which is the labor market front.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's two steps. That's two steps there. Okay, please share with us more.
Yeah, so we talk about two steps. So the third step actually after that was that we talk about what would be available and possible considering the present job market, her skills and abilities. So one way which we expanded her career possibilities was by deconstructing her skills. For example, customer service skills could be broken down into people skills, communication skills, problem-solving skills. And then we could think about what are some possible jobs that will actually need this kind of skills. And with that, she started to scan the market and the environment for available and possible targets, from healthcare to early childhood, from full-time roles to part-time employment. She also started to see things differently. For example, she became open to considering jobs that were far from her home. The change was that now she sees these as actually possible opportunities to learn new skills and gain new experiences.
Yeah. So here I've just taken down some notes. You mentioned, we talk about Madam Lee self-discovery, right? Finding out about her strengths, and then also being aware of the labor market, right? The present labor market. And then after that, you all went on to talk about career possibilities by deconstructing her skills. And I think what struck me was you mentioned from customer service skills, which you had in the banking sector, you managed to break down the skills, right, to people skills, communication skills, and then problem-solving skills. Okay, well, that's fantastic. Were there more steps that you took with Madam Lee?
Yeah, so the final part, coming to the final part in this case is about getting prepared to make the best use of opportunities. So actually what I've spoken so far about Madam Lee earlier is already about getting her prepared. But another easy classic example of getting it prepared is perhaps a case of preparing our resume. Getting prepared with different versions of a resume, one for target A, one for target B, and one for general use, and be ready to share when the opportunity comes along. So that's an example of getting prepared. But in Madam Lee's case, what did she do? She did quite a lot of things. So firstly, she attended workshops, she revised her resume, she brushed up her interview skills, she attended job fairs as well as applied for jobs online. She took up temporary jobs and built up her confidence. She also signed up for courses to learn new skills. And she also approached the childcare center which her child was actually placed in for an opportunity to work there. Then she realized that she actually enjoyed the work and environment, hence proceeded to take up a training from the early childhood sector and subsequently started a new career as a preschool educator. So there's many steps, and as you can see from Madam Lee's case, that getting prepared is actually a constant process of taking action, often small baby steps, and maintaining that open-mindedness, that experimental attitude and curiosity for new knowledge experiences. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. And I think it's really nice because you also gave us a summary of what Madam Lee did apart from attending workshops and reskilling. What struck me as you were talking just now was that you also said that Madam Lee was very open. All right. So from not being fixated, just to full-time employment, she was open to exploring part-time ones as well. And also it's interesting because you said that she went into the education sector, right? She found an opportunity with the childcare center where her child was at. That's excellent networking, right? And all of us should leverage on that networking, right? Yeah, so I think for all of us listening in, if we are looking for a job, we too can also consider this, how Madam Lee moved, took baby steps to get into where she is right now. Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Welcome, Cass. And I like the way you put it, and you mentioned the keyword again, open-mindedness, and also the networking part. In this case, Madam Lee also took a little risk. She had a risk-taking kind of attitude as well, in order to break beyond what she has the possibilities to expand that up. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up. And actually, we talked quite a lot about Madam Lee, but perhaps to make it easier to stick, I'll give everyone 4 P's to remember by. All right, the 4 P's are profile, okay, present, possibilities, and preparation. All right, so profile means start by reflecting and understanding who we are. Present means that we should be aware of our environment and staying alert to the changing circumstances. Possibilities, explore and experiment what is available and possible. And finally, preparation, be prepared for opportunities and contingencies. So I hope the 4 P's above help.
I think definitely. I think the audience would love to take a picture of this right now. Okay, so if you can, please take a picture of this so that when you look back and see what are the important takeaways, this is definitely 4 P's. What Xiu Shen has mentioned would be very, very key to your career success and transition. So profiling, when it comes to profiling, understanding who we are, please go ahead to make an appointment with an E2I career coach to understand how to go about it. And definitely the 3 P's, will fall in place as well. Yeah. Thanks very much, Xiu Shen. At this point, I'm just curious because Madam Lee, right, that you mentioned, she was not in the workforce. She's somebody looking to join back in the workforce. What if there are job seekers out there, all right, listening in, and they are currently employed? Okay, so they have a job, gainfully employed, and they're curious to know how their skills are relevant in this VUCA world. What kind of advice would you give to them?
That's a really very good question, Cass. And indeed, we are seeing many job seekers coming with us with this question as well. So I think no doubt the ongoing pandemic has actually triggered us to ponder about this question even more than last time. And a big thumbs up to all those who ask this question because it shows that you have a high degree of career curiosity. So that's good. Actually, there are many ways which we can test if our skills are still relevant. But perhaps I'll just suggest 3 of them, okay, which I think are practical steps. Then first is, and the easiest way, I would say, is to subscribe to job alerts, like from JobStreet, from JobsDB, from Job Central, My Career Future portal. Yeah, we can subscribe to those, and we can scan the market and see what's available, what available jobs. We can set up LinkedIn account and see if we can attract recruiters' attention and connect with them. So this is a very practical approach to begin with, I would say.
It's like testing the ground, right?
Yeah, testing the ground, test the water, to see what's the temperature first.
Okay,
right?
Okay, sure.
That's number 1. So number 2, the second way is also very easy, but probably requires more time and research, is to use the skills framework, which provides useful information on sector and employment opportunities, career pathways, existing emerging skills, training programs for upgrading, etc. And in this case, what we can do is that it can be used as a checklist against our skills and competencies to see if they're still in line and relevant in that sector.
So just to clarify, skills framework is not the same as skills future, right? Skills future credit, especially?
Not the same, but they are the same family. It's under the whole umbrella under skills future, careers future framework. but there are different initiatives. Skills framework is actually containing the information I just said just now. Career pathway, which is particularly useful to show lateral movement, vertical movement, to help us explore options. Now, this is something I like to work with my job seekers on. Then skills future, I think most of us will think of skill future credit to attend courses, etc. So they are under the same framework but different items. Yeah.
Right. So my careers future is where the jobs are. Skills future credit is where the initial $500 we have. And then skills framework would be where we can look at the different skills that are found within a role within the industry.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, sure. I think we're good with that. Is there a third option?
Yes, the third option will be probably requires many of us to come out of our comfort zone. Okay, so it's to test our assumptions about the job market by talking to people and subject matter experts. Such opportunities might present itself when we attend career events such as networking events, training previews, job opportunity briefing, even free webinars like this one. So another way actually we can create such opportunities is by performing informational interview. Have you heard of this term, informational interview, Cass?
I've heard of job interviews. Not too sure what informational interview means.
All right, so perhaps I can share a little. It is actually a conversation in which we seek career insight from someone who actually has the experience and knowledge in the areas of our interest. An example could be someone who is working in a role that we wish to transit into. So actually, after identifying this person, we might want to think about what are some of the potential questions that we can ask. So for example, if you want to know about career pathway, we can ask, how do you see this profession evolving? So if we want to know about professional development, we can ask, what courses have you taken to continue with this development, with your development? And if you want to know about industry, we can ask, in your opinion, what are the most important trends in this industry? Or if you want to know about this person's day-to-day responsibilities, we can ask, what are the most challenging problems you must deal with? So as you can see, there's really a lot of different questions and insights we can gather from this process. And that's why I do strongly recommend my job seekers to approach this. And if we Google a bit, we can certainly find out a lot more such questions. But if you, there's a lot of resources online.
Yes. Yeah.
And perhaps just to make it easier, if you find it hard to remember all these different interview questions, perhaps just remember the three golden ones. The three golden questions I would ask is, number one, what do you like most about this work? Okay. Number two, what do you like least about this work? And number three, how do you get into this work? So I hope this three golden question helps. Yeah.
I think these three golden questions definitely will be very crucial and important for us as well, because I imagine if we are doing informational interviews, we'll be likely speaking with strangers, right? So it may not be just friends or people in our network. It could be strangers we're speaking with, and so we need to know how to start the conversation. And I think the three golden questions definitely help. So if audience, if you can just take a picture of this, just in case you want to test your assumptions, you want to conduct informational interviews, this would be a great help to us.
Yeah, good point, Cass. And even though it is these three golden questions, I think it's still good to prepare other questions beforehand. Yeah, because we want to make full use of the person. Like Cass said, you might be speaking to a total stranger. So we must at very least do our own research, okay, to know what we're asking about. Yeah. And Cass, I just thought of something. Shall I share a little secret?
Sure. We love secrets.
All right. So the secret is that the strategies, the approaches we've spoken about today were mainly based on a career theory called planned happenstance, which was developed by a professor from Stanford. His name is Dr. John Crumbolts. And as it happens, 2 weeks ago, there was a Straits Times article on applying planned happenstance in our career journey. So if you guys are interested to find out more, actually you can look out for that article or the professor's book called Luck is No Accident. Yeah, that's the little secret for everyone.
I see. Well, I like the title, Luck is No Accident. Very catchy one.
Yeah.
So thanks very much for sharing, Sushan. I think for the audience out there, if you're a bookworm or you like to read, you have some spare time, definitely you want to search for the book Luck is No Accident and find out how the planned happenstance theory can also assist you in your career transition. Okay, thanks, Sushan. Sushan, we'd like to have you with us for a longer time. So please stay online and we'll come back to you in a while. Is that okay?
Can, sure. Thank you,
Cass. Thank you. Well, for the audience out there, when exploring job search, we want to be as open-minded as possible, right? And that would include us being receptive to join ready hirers, such as small, medium enterprises or SMEs in short. And today it's my privilege to invite Mr. Alan Wong, Principal Business Advisor from SME at Central, to share his thoughts on this. Hello, Alan. Are you? Oh, yes, you're here with us. Yes, hi. Hi. Thank you very much for joining us during this lunchtime webinar.
No problem. Thank you for the invitation, Cassandra.
Yeah. So, Alan, we have prepared a few questions for you. Right. So, if you're ready, let me ask you your first question. All right.
Yes,
so, please share with us your role in the SME Center.
Yes, I'm a business advisor with SME Center at Central. And basically, on a daily basis, I help SMEs, the Taukes, the bosses, and the entrepreneurs navigate the various government support schemes from various government agencies, such as mainly from Enterprise Singapore, Workforce Singapore, SkillsFuture Singapore, and also Singapore Tourism Board at times. So I will guide them on how to tap on all these support schemes and help them build their capabilities, right? Just to give you an example, recently I helped an F&B operator to tap on Enterprise Singapore's Productivity Solutions Grant. In short, it's called PSG, and to help them procure a dishwasher with this government's scheme. And it's basically to help them also overcome their manpower crunch challenges. Yes.
Thanks for giving us the example. I think most of us can appreciate that SMEs, they do face a manpower crunch here. And talking about manpower crunches, I think SMEs want to hire Singaporeans, right? But there are challenges on the ground. So, Alan, could you share with us what are some of the challenges that SMEs face when hiring Singaporeans?
Yes. In my engagement with the bosses, the business owners, they usually will tell me that they have difficulty in hiring Singapore citizens or PRs, mainly because of mismatched expectations of the compensation that they offer against the job duties set up by the employer. And the other challenge is I keep hearing over time, is hiring the right people for the right job is what they have a difficulty.
Okay, so that's a job peak question. But when it comes to compensation, right, is it always true that SMEs are not able to offer as much when it comes to monetary perks as compared to MNCs?
Yes, I think it's a valid question. It is not always true because we all know that SMEs are very lean in terms of its employee headcount, but I think this is a good environment where one can learn more knowledge and also acquire new skills through multitasking, of course. And it could be also such an environment like what we just heard from Sushan earlier on, that that individual is able to discover strength and the passions, So I would say that it's for the individual to build the career development along that path so as to maximize the individual's potentials and to thrive in that role. But I'm not sure whether MNCs are able to give that kind of opportunities to the employees and let them discover and at times rediscover themselves. So at the end of the day, I strongly think that your value as an individual, as an employee, can be highly enhanced if you are able to master the skill set and competencies well.
Thanks for sharing. I believe that there are advantages that SMEs have over MNCs as well.
Sure.
So what are the top 3 skills that SMEs are looking for in candidates?
Yes, I have 3 top skill sets to share with everyone here today. Namely, they are competency, communication, and problem solving. All right, these are the top 3 skill sets that the SME Taukes are looking for in candidates. Let me elaborate. One, competency is defined as in technical competency. So it is a must in delivering the assigned job duties. Just to give you an example, if this individual is working as a car mechanic in a workshop, and he or she is expected to service cars, if you do not have the proper certification or skill set or even training, how is this person able to do the job, right? Alternatively, if we look at in a case of, say, a digital marketeer, right? So if you are a digital marketeer, but you're not able to do the job well, if you have not fully mastered, say, for example, Google Analytics, right? So that's for competency. Second, on communication, right? We all need to interact with people in our jobs every day. And all these people around us, they come from all walks of life and all avenues. So even if you are assuming a desk-bound software programming as a programmer, you will still need to talk to your colleagues and your team leader to get the jobs done, isn't it? And you must realize that you are not just dealing with your own notebook. You're not talking to machines only. So articulating your thoughts and feedback reflect your value-add contributions as a team member, but this is not possible if you're not able to communicate well. All right, so that is the second point, second skill set, which is communication. Let me move on to the third one, which is the problem-solving skills. This refers to one's ability to analyze the problem statements and identify potential solutions to overcome those challenges. So employer will appreciate the employee's assistance more if you are their capable team members who can help them solve daily problems and not to create more. Yes.
I like the last point there, not to create more problems.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, it's true. It's true. I do agree with you. Right. Technical competencies are very important. And then you mentioned, I think my team has also put up the 3 pointers there.
Yes.
Communication skills is very, very relevant and very valid, and it's transferable skill as well. And no one can say, you know, I'm the best communicator out there. And there's always room for improvement. So I totally agree on that. And problem-solving skills, I think we need it no matter, especially if you're pitching to SMEs, if you can share, you know, that there were these problems that you have previously solved, you know, whether you were with SME or MNCs, I think they would love candidates with these capabilities.
Definitely.
Okay, so I have another question.
Please.
Right? So very similar to what I asked just now regarding pitching, right? So at interviews, how can job seekers pitch to SMEs?
Sure. I would strongly advise job seekers to have these 2 attributes, namely will be humility and willingness to learn. It's because of these 2 key attributes, I would think, that you're able to put yourself in the good books of any interviewers, right? Irrespective of your age, I don't think employers like to be surprised that you're unable to deliver a competency that you mentioned during the interview within your probation period, you see. And you have to face the disappointment thereafter, right? Nobody likes this to happen, isn't it?
Correct, correct, agree. Especially during probation, they'll be watching out, you know, whether you are able to fill all the, you know, competencies that you mentioned at the interviews.
Exactly. So did you get the chance to deliver what you promised, you see? So they'll be watching you, that's for sure, right? I have one more point to add is actually is that SMEs, they don't have the time and the luxury to train you, you know, so that, you know, as maybe compared to MNCs. So that's why the taukees, the bosses are expecting you to quickly jump and able to do the job, you know, and of course contribute and value add immediately, so that you're able to articulate so-called the relevant and transferable skills that you have, right?
So I'm hearing what you're saying is that SMEs will need somebody to run as fast as possible, right? The moment they join the company, and not looking to see, wait and see attitude, and then, you know, hoping to have the SME give them a lot of training before they can start the job. Am I correct to say that?
Yes, exactly. And that will definitely, as mentioned, it will put you in the good books, you know, to the interviewer, and likely that you can end up in the job. You never know.
Totally agree with you, Alan. Okay, one last question.
Please.
Do you have any advice for job seekers? Quick advice for them.
Yes, of course I do. I would advise job seekers to have faith in yourself, but not be overconfident. You are advised also to do your research on the company's business profile and their activities before you go for the interview, even if you have already heard about their name in the market, you see. All right. So more importantly is knowing the expected skill set and competency requirements of the role that you are interviewing for. I think that will go to the extent of demonstrating to the interviewer how prepared you are and how eager you are to secure the job.
Okay, so have faith in yourself, but not be overconfident. And I think that, I mean, we can't be overly prepared, right? So we need to prepare research on the companies that we're speaking with. Would that be correct?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Okay. Thanks very much, Alan, and thank you very much for joining us during your lunchtime. Also, please stay with us,
Yes.
stay online with us. We may have questions for you during the Q&A.
Sure. Thank you, Cass.
All right, thank you, Alan. Okay, so, well, coming up next, we have a very inspiring story, all right, to share with the audience. I personally have spoken to Mrs. Wong, right? So Mrs. Wong is a fellow Singaporean. She shared with me her story. We would love to have her live with us. Unfortunately, due to work exigencies, she's not able to join us live. Instead, we had the privilege of interviewing her. So we have her recording, all right, with us to share her experience. So Mrs. Wong, she literally went from one course, taking one course to another, not giving up. All right, she didn't say no, you know, I'm of a certain age and therefore I'm not going to reskill, but she went on and on, you know, learning, keeping up with her learning, and then finally able to utilize her skills. Let's have the story of Mrs. Wong, the video of her put up for us, please, team. Thank you.
My name is Mrs. Wong. First thing I did was retraining. I have the transferable skills and I knew I need to learn more. While I was pursuing ECTA, I worked as course administrator in Bell's academic group. I applied for associate trainer position with Bell's and I taught various adult education programs. In 2020, I took up Certificate of Food Services in Pastry and Baking and currently is attending the Advanced Diploma of Pastry and Baking Arts. With this certification under my belt, I'm now able to teach pastry course with Bell's. I plan to learn culinary in the future. I'm also open to other courses as well. I wish everyone success and happiness.
Thank you, team, for the video. As well, audience, I really hope you found this story of Mrs. Wong very inspiring. In the interview with her, she shared with me from 2018 all the way until now. She has more than 10 to 12 certifications under her belt, and she's still picking up new skills. As you watch from the video, she's taking an advanced diploma in pastry as well as pastry arts, right, and baking. Very impressed by Mrs. Wong, right? So no matter what age or circumstances we find ourselves in, as long as we're open to learning new skills in today's context, there are many opportunities ahead of us. All right. So with this, we'll move into the Q&A segment. All right. So we have, let's bring back Sushan, our career coach. Hi. And can we also have Alan as well?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you. Right. So audience, please feel free to type in your questions in the chat. And if you're game to speak, all right, to ask directly, please feel free to raise your hand. Right, perhaps at this point, maybe we could bring down the slides so that we can have a view. I could have a view of everybody. Yeah, and if you have a question, just electronically raise your hand. We'll call on you, and then you can unmute, and then you can speak into the mic. All right. Okay. Well, while waiting for some questions to come on, perhaps maybe Sushan or Alan can answer this question. Have there been any heartwarming stories that you have come across regarding job seekers who have recently found a job by means of training, right? Maybe using SkillsFuture credit or SkillsFuture awards and so on, all right, to upskill. Please feel free to share with us.
I think that definitely there are, but I can't exactly remember the profile or the name right now. But I think again, when looking through the video just now about Mrs. Wong, it struck me about one of the principles that during my sharing about this planned happenstance theory, there was a very famous phrase. It is to never complete our education. And I think she fully epitomized that through her. I heard like baking courses, she has ECTA, she has 12 certifications on her belt. So she's really a true representation of that. So what is saying that, I think, bringing back to what I mentioned, that upgrading is a must, but no longer a choice right now. The lifelong learning part, that's definitely in line with our plan happenstance, what it's talking about as well. And it's very practical. So that was what came to my mind. And also, while Adam was sharing just now, he mentioned about the willingness to learn, right? Or willingness to learn. So I think in our interview process with our employers, right, a lot of job seekers will often say that I'm willing to learn, but how actually do they actually exhibit that? You must have something to prove that you're actually willing to learn. So actually, by thinking out these multiple courses, is a proof by itself that actually I have this constant lifelong need to, I don't see completing one course at an end point. I never complete my education. So that was what was going through my mind, what was actually inspiring for me, watching that video.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yes, correct. And I think it matters, especially if we are currently looking for a job. In the space of from your last job till now, right? Most interviewers will ask you, so let's give an example, okay? Just maybe 8 months, all right? So I imagine the interviewer will say, well, what have you been doing over the last 8 months? All right. And if you just say, oh, I'm looking for a job, you wouldn't come across as strong as saying, I have been looking for a job, and during this time, I have also concentrated my time in upskilling. Example, digital marketing, RPA, Python, and so on and so on. That comes across, a stronger reply, all right, and an indication that you are not just sitting back, relaxing, and just job search, but you are also upskilling. Yeah, so totally agree with you on that, Sushan. Okay, we have a few questions, and actually, I think one of it is addressed to Alan. Right?
Yes.
So Alan, the question is this, what would you recommend to research about SMEs, since it's not easy to find their brand or their name online?
Usually, of course, other than Googling them online, and because there could be companies that would not use the registered entity name that they have with ACRA as the name itself, you see, of the company name. They probably be using brand names rather. So if you're unable rather to find out more about the company background, the employee size, what their business activities, maybe you can reach out to us also, the SME centers, and we'll see what we can do for you, and we'll try to help you to at least provide you some background information if we can. Yes.
Okay, so this means exhausting like Facebook and LinkedIn, right? If you still can't find the information on SME via Facebook, LinkedIn, no website, so they can do an email to SME Center?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Sure. Thanks very much, Alan, for the tip. Right. Okay. So let's move on to the next question. I think this is in relation to what we shared earlier. Okay. So just give me a moment. Okay, so this question, I think all of us can answer, right? Open to all of us. Recently, participant has taken up a fundamental Python programming course. While looking at the job ads for business analysts, most of the hirers are looking for candidates with advanced Python coders, so beginner versus advanced. I start to feel so frustrated and feeling that there's no hope in getting a job in this field. What is your advice? So we have this participant taking fundamental Python programming course versus what is the requirements out there for coders, right? They're looking for advanced Python coders. So any perspective from you?
That's for me, is it, Cass?
Sure, and Alan can reply as well. No worries. Yeah.
So maybe I can add on first, then if Alan has anything to add on. I think want to give kudos to this person. Actually, he started to take action by taking the basic level course. And I think a lot of times, like as Madam Lee's case scenario illustrated, often getting to the end point, it is not a one-step approach. It might involve many steps. So he has taken on the next step. So next is that perhaps there are other options. What is other availabilities or other possibilities that can take on, maybe just to get into a company first, that is an IT company. Then he can expand upon using his leverage on his existing skills to get into the company first, And then from that, the people knows him, the people see his work ethic, his attitude, his behavior, then he might have an opportunity. That's how we can actually create opportunity to move into an IT role. I'm also thinking about, again, as I mentioned, information interview. One of the questions that asks is in terms of professional development, what are some of the most useful courses that we can attend? If you can find someone who is already in that line, you can ask that person, or even someone that's, I think finding that person is good that you can find something that's passionate. I think that makes the sharing even more easy and more forthcoming. So that's my piece of advice, at least for now, that I can think of. Yeah.
Thanks, Yushin. Well, I can think of something as well. If you're a new coder, new programmer, or in the ICT line, there's always GitHub that you can work with. So GitHub is a free platform that all freelancers go to, because in the IT industry, there are many, many freelancers out there. Get to know the other freelancers as well. Ask them, like what Yushin mentioned, informational interview. How did you move into the space? How did you become an advanced coder? So ask questions, and it will be fantastic, all right? Also in E2I, we also have many events, ICT events. Check out our events calendar. If you see, I think we have something coming up tomorrow as well in ICT. So you may not want to attend only ICT related events, but open up to many things. Open up the opportunities for yourself, and who knows, you may meet one or two people that may lead you into a job opportunity. Okay.
I saw a direct question
yes.
from me.
Sure.
There's a question to ask me to repeat the 4 Ps from my slide. I think it's a direct message. So okay, let me just repeat that for the sake of the question.
Sure.
The 4 Ps are, firstly, profile, number 1. Number 2 is present. Number 3 is possibilities. And number 4 is prepared. Okay, so I think the question was from Pauline. Hopefully, Pauline, you got the 4 Ps now. All right, thanks for the question.
Okay, thanks, Yushin. I think we're only in time for one last question, I'm afraid. But thank you very much, audience. You've been very great. All right, you've been sending out your questions. Fantastic. This is to SME, regarding SMEs, to Ellen, maybe. How is career progression or promotion usually like at SME, since an individual needs to be multitasking, and many family owns their businesses, and would likely the managers be family members as well. So it's on career progression.
I understand. In fact, I get that a lot also in my course of work. Definitely family-owned businesses, they may have what we call a glass ceiling in terms of the promotions, you see. And I acknowledge that. But to me, if I am you, as in working for this family-owned business, I may want to master my skill and beef up, strengthen my own competencies, and prepare myself for the next career. Because I don't foresee myself that if I'm not able to get there to the top of the ladder, I believe there are many other opportunities waiting for me, isn't it? So I'm not sure if I've answered that person's question. Yes.
Well, definitely, there's always a start to explore first. One step into the SME first. All right, see what kind of experience you can draw from there, and then if there is no career progression that's very evident, feel free to move on to another company.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you very much, Ellen. All right, thanks, Ellen and Yushin. Just want to address the question from Clarence and Cheryl regarding salary. All right, as well, talk about last drawn, as well as how to put yourself, pitch yourself as more advantageous to the employers, how to impress them, basically. All right, please join E2I's workshops. We share a lot on that, and you'll hear from Siddiq in a while. He will show you the QR code for Win the Job series. Please take a picture of that. There's a QR code there, and you can sign up for the workshops. As for questions on calendar, just go to e2i.com.sg. There's a tab there that says calendar. Click on it, you'll see all our events for the month. All right, with this, we come to a close. And I'd like to hand the session back to Siddiq, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cassandra, Ellen, and Yushin, for that insightful sharing. I believe all of us have, one way or another, taken back a lot of takeaways from that short sharing. At this juncture, I would also like to share some of the relevant resources that we have here from Skills Future, E2I, and Northeast CDC for perhaps the next 5 or 10 minutes, okay? Give me a second, I'll change the slide. Okay, first thing first. Okay, let's start with my Skills Future portal. I think this is one of the portal which is the most relevant with regards to our course search and our job insights and stuff like that. So essentially, the portal is a one-stop portal which offers, like I mentioned, various resources on how you can use this for your career planning as well as skills upgrading. I will only share some of the relevant ones in the next few slides. One of them being the Skills Future program, as well as Skills United Mid-Career Pathway programs. Okay, essentially, apart from the many of thousands of short programs, we have these 2 particular long-term programs which are targeted at the mid-career job seekers with 2 or more years of experience. The good thing about this particular program is that it is a training program which actually pays an allowance per month during the duration of your program. So there are programs which starts from 6 and all the way to 12 months. All right. However, you will have to pay for the course fee, $500 for a 6-month program, up to $1,000 for a 12-month program. However, you can use your Skills Future credit, all right, to offset this course fee. Okay. Next, the Skills Future series. What is this? It's basically a curated set of short industry relevant courses focusing on the 8 emerging areas of skills in Singapore. So what you see on your screen right now are 8 of the emerging skills. For example, digital media, data analytics, which is very, very popular right now. And the good thing about this course is you can choose from 3 proficiency levels to suit your needs, as well as obviously your proficiency level. All right. Of course, if you go to the digital services tab of the portal itself, you can actually, of course, subject to eligibility, you could actually apply for the Skills Future fellowships, the awards, as well as the work study programs. All right. In addition to that, there is also this resources tab, which again is a repository of in-depth resources inclusive of articles, industry insights, and ebooks. You can also use the assessment portion of it to actually try out the profiling tool, where it could actually use to assess your personality, your strength, and your work values, and then it will help you identify suitable career options that you could actually consider. Okay, so that's pretty much the sharing which I have with regards to my skills portal. Next, I would also like to share with you some of the other resources available in Northeast CDC as well as E2I. The first thing is probably, if any one of you, myself inclusive, I prefer a one-on-one career consultation. And if you are one of those, then you can visit any of these 4 job hubs under the Northeast CDC listed on screen right now. They are actually based in Hougang, Punggol, and Kaki Bukit. All right. So the other one that you can consider is actually to make an appointment to speak to an E2I career coach like Swishan earlier on, one of the panels. And you can do that by making an appointment through scanning this QR code or calling the number. And then we also have the Win the Job series, which Cassandra shared with us earlier on. It's pretty much a 3-workshop package focusing on resume writing, interview skills, as well as how to negotiate your salary. All right, so this course, each of them are an hour long, and it's done virtually right now, and it's done individually as well. So you don't have to take all 3 courses at one go. Okay, something for you to consider about Win the Job series. All right, so that pretty much sums up the resources that I would like to share with you. And so with that, I would also like to probably, at this tail end of the session, share with you the 3 other sessions that's coming up for the next 3 weeks. Please feel free to scan the QR code and register yourself for the 3 sessions. starting from 24th all the way till the 8th of December. The timing is still the same from 12:30 to 1:30. I'll probably give it another half a minute or so for you to probably take a snap of the screen as well, or as well as scanning the QR code. Just bear in mind that we will have another group of panelists who will be sharing further insights on the relevant topics that has been scheduled for the next 3 sessions. All right. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, before you go, I appreciate if we can take the next 3 minutes or so for you guys to share with us your feedback on this session today. Again, please flash out your camera and scan the QR code that will lead you to our feedback form. And so with that, thank you all again for attending this virtual workshop. We hope you have a great week ahead, and we wish you all the best in your career journey. Looking forward to seeing you all again next week for the subsequent workshops. Thank you and have a good day. I'll leave this slide up for the next 2-3 minutes so that for those who are still trying to scan the QR code, to do so. All right, take care and goodbye.